Count it all joy, brethren, when you fall into various trials. Today is one of those. I am on day 973 of canning tomato products. Not really, it just feels like that. My garden is prolific when it comes to tomatoes. We decided to plant all the tomatoes and we have all the tomatoes. So today I am making tomato paste, and my darling sister-in-law, who I love very, very much, has given me great wisdom, and she suggested making tomato paste in your crock pot, which sounds like a really great idea. Don't you think, honey?
It sounds like a blast.
Yeah, because then you are not actually doing anything except for letting it cook down for hours and hours and making your house smell like a pizzeria. So that's what I'm gonna do. But first, I have to cut the blossom and rot off of all these tomatoes. And it smells like death. And I'm wondering just how many tomatoes is safe to feed chickens. Do you have any idea, Benjamin?
Till they die.
That sounds scientifically accurate. So, anywho, I'm just washing all the tomatoes, and this is disgusting and it smells like death. And I'm really regretting my life choices when it comes to planting these tomatoes in such vast quantities, which I actually had no real part in, but I just do what I'm told. And that is to pick the tomatoes and to do stuff with them. But I like that actually. So I like to just be told what to do. It stresses me out to make the decisions. I like to be told what I'm supposed to be doing, which I'm sure is going to offend a lot of people. But you know, that's just my personality. So I let other people make the planning decisions. And you know, it's good to have a system when you live on a commune with clothes, right, Ben?
Yep.
So when you live on a commune, which is basically what we do, ooh, this one exploded at me. Chicken bucket. It's good to have a system. So if you are living in these strange and perilous times, which would make sense if you're watching these videos, that and you're thinking about maybe living off the land, you know, and you decide that you don't want to do this on your own, I think that's a wise idea. So maybe consider going in with some family members and buying a piece of property and figuring this out together. I think it's been a really wonderful experience, and we all have different skills and assets, and we can come together and learn as we go. This year has been one giant science experiment, and I tell you, I have learned more this year than probably since I was 3. Hey guys, stop eating the dog food. I have 2 morbidly obese cats who were getting into the dog bowls. I fed them this morning. That's strange. So, don't know why they're doing that. But anyways, just wanted to give you a little update and show you what I was doing. But hey, look what I did. Let me just show you here. I'm super proud of myself. So not only did I figure out how to can tomatoes, you guys, figure out how to can tomatoes, but made tomato sauce. And let me tell you, it is so delicious. It is the best tomato sauce I've ever had. And no weird fillers or tons of sugar. And it's so good. It took forever. And we made some serious mistakes, y'all. So first thing we did wrong. We did not use all Roma tomatoes. And now hindsight 2020, we should use either Romas or my sister-in-law, whom I love. She was actually doing some research on a type of tomato that is used in Italy that has a high yield of, it's more meat and less juice. So when you cook it down, you're gonna get more sauce. And it's going to take less time to cook, because let me tell you what. When I cook down 100 pounds, sorry, those cats. When I cook down 100 pounds of tomatoes, yep, we yielded 6 quarts. 6 quarts of sauce. And we didn't use just Romas. We used an heirloom tomato, like a beefsteak tomato as well. And that thing was very juicy. So, found out after the fact that that is an ideal tomato for salsas and diced tomatoes. So that would have been good to know before we tried to make tomato sauce, but that's okay. We learned, and we have gleaned that information for next time. So, so we probably won't be planning those next year. And let's see if I have some of those in here. Let me see. I'm just going to shut this laundry room door. It's kind of loud. So yeah, they look like this. So they've got these, like, I don't know if you can see that, these lines through them, and they're kind of hard to cut through in some ways, just because they've got all these veins, and so sectioning them takes a little bit more time. But they're super tasty. But they're just not the best for making sauce because they're mostly juice. So you just have to cook them down for hours and hours and hours. But yeah, they add a great flavor. You just don't get much yield out of them. And so we probably did half of those and half Romas. And the recipe we used was out of the Ball Blue Book Preserve. Looks like this. Guide to Preserving. This one. So go get that for yourself on Amazon. I can put the link in the comments below or in the description. Anyways, so we cooked that down for hours and hours and hours, and we put it through a sauce maker before we cooked them down. So that was also something we probably should have done after we had cooked the tomatoes. But, you know, we do things our own way around here, so why not? We followed the recipe after we had put all the tomatoes raw through a sauce maker. So it's super juicy. And then we cooked that down for hours and hours and hours. We only did half of the juice because it filled a giant stock pot. And the other half we put in the freezer. The half that we put in the freezer, it cooked down way faster. And my sister-in-law, who I love, said it would. And she's a genius like that. So when she says to do something, I do it. Because this is not her first rodeo. Jade, my little fat brown Labrador, is making noise. Anywho, we are going to have to start walking down to my parental units. Because my mom is going to be potentially having somebody come buy her horse today. So we're going to walk down there, but I'm going to just move some of these tomatoes out of here. But I can keep talking to you. So we cooked the first half down, and then I went to put the canning jars into the canner outside, and the propane had gone out, so the water was cold, and made a rookie mistake and left the the jars outside on the deck, on the porch on the deck. And for all of you who have canned before, you know what happened. Yet by the time the water came up to a boil, and I put those 6 precious jars, because that's all that giant stock pot cooked down to in sauce, 2 of those quarts, crack. It was everything I could do not to cry. It was so sad. I'm looking for the lid to a water bottle. There we go. My kids have a writing lesson today, and it's supposed to be over 100 degrees. So they need water because, you know, hydration is a thing. So out of that 50 pounds of tomatoes, y'all, I got 4 quarts. But what did I gain? Not only did I figure out how to can tomatoes, made the best sauce ever, and pretty sure nobody's gonna get botulism and their noses aren't gonna fall off. So that's encouraging, because that's frowned upon. And I like my kids and people that eat Italian food at my house. So yeah, like people alive. And yeah, I'm just getting more and more confident with the canning. You know, I never felt confident canning on my own until this year, and then it was kind of like, you know what, we got to figure this out, because this is just obviously a very important skill to have, and just saw the value in it, you know. Gosh. Oh my gosh, so gross. So gross. Just not sure. Again, how many tomatoes can you safely feed chickens before they die? Oh, it's so nasty. I'm just like, some of these, like, they're just not even worth cutting the ends off, because, you know, back in the old days when people thought that tomatoes were poisonous because they're a nightshade, I'm still wondering, you know, like some of these, like, just wonder, maybe there was something, like, I know that the leaves in larger quantities can be toxic, but man, it just does not smell good. I'm just concerned. So, anyways, yeah, so foul. But I think the rest of these are going to be okay. Well, the other problem is that when you pick as many tomatoes as we have in our garden, and you don't do something with them right away, and they weigh that much, and they're just sitting on each other, you know, that's just setting yourself up for failure. You know, I did this to myself, you guys. So you can laugh all you want, and I deserve this. So laugh away. Laugh amongst yourselves. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I've got to go and keep an eye on my coos so that my mom has a good experience trying to get somebody to buy her horse. Oh, but I was going to tell you, so the second time that I cooked the other 50 pounds of tomatoes down that was put in the freezer, it cooked down so much easier. And instead of getting, you know, I would have had 6 jars of quarts if 2 hadn't broke because of my rookie mistake. But I got, I think I got 9 quarts out of the next batch. So that made me feel like, okay, this is worth it. You know, that was a lot better than the 6. So anyways, not all who decide to make tomato sauce with Romas and a wonky heirloom are crazy. But next time, I think we will definitely try the Italian variety of that sauce tomato and more Romas. I think that's for us. So we're learning what we shouldn't do as well as what works for us. So anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and maybe I'll make another video about my cows because you haven't seen my cows yet. All right. Adios. See you later.